Trying to determine the motive behind a deadly gun attack in the Crescent community in Granville this morning. The incident has left 2 men dead and a number of persons homeless. Shamela Pullen has the details.
The last few hours have been a nightmare for residents in the community of Crescent, Granville, St. James.
Me ear, brother. Then I said to my brother, I said, "How was that gunshot?" And he said, yes. And me, brother. Me said, Jesus Christ. He can't cool off your boat a second. Don't cry, baby, don't cry.
The familiar yellow tape drawn minutes after 6 Sunday morning. According to reports, about 1 this morning, armed men barged into a house in Crescent in Granville and shot the occupants. The thugs also set fire to 4 houses. 63-year-old Ainsworth Buckner and O'Shane Brown, alias Nico, 27, both of Crescent addresses, died in the attack. One resident recounted the terrifying ordeal.
Me not sleep. But me hear something like shot. But when I get up now, I jump up and run in the bathroom. I'm go pee-pee. But when I pee-pee, so I see like smoke come in my house. One time, I step back in her room because she alone sleep. You know, me sleep in one room and she sleep in one room. Because my girlfriend not there, she in America. So when I look, I see like a smoke. So I run and I try to cut the bathroom window. I see I couldn't shut the bathroom window. I try to cut the room window, I couldn't lick out it. So I just run back and just pull her off her bed and she drop on her face. And I hold her mouth and I say, no, ball out.
Investigators located Mr. Brown's body a short distance from his house with what appeared to be multiple gunshot wounds.
Him very nice, him quiet, very quiet. The only time I hear him voice when he drink, I didn't drink, he make, you know, some people when they drink, they make nice. Yeah, he make nice and make it nice. And when he calm down. You know, he become on a help around and so. But I don't know what happened. Then kill him brother 2 months, almost 2 months ago. I know then kill him. You know, it's so sad him brother supposed to bury next week and then kill him this week.
Firefighters who were called to the scene discovered the charred remains of Mr. Buckner in the rubble.
I don't feel good about it. You know that man died like that. He don't deserve that death. He don't deserve that death no time.
The residents are calling for consistent police presence in the area.
So the police, they need to come more often around the area. Yeah, they need to come more often because every time there is a death, then the police show up. They're supposed to come around the area. Get some soldiers. Remember when me grew up, soldiers come to the community and then go through house to house. Nobody know when they come. Nobody know when they come in. Go through house and they will find all whatever they put on in them place, they will find it.
Shamela Pullen, TVJ News.
In the meantime, National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang and Member of Parliament for St. James West Central, Marlene Malahoo Fort, toured the Crescent community this afternoon where the gruesome attack took place. Dr. Chang says such an early morning attack is unusual. He added that it was a well-planned operation and reasons that gangs would have played a major role in the latest attack.
This is a result of continued gang warfare, which the police have been working on. As I said, last night appeared to have been a well-planned operation by gangsters. And although engaged quickly by the police, we still had a bad outturn. I want to reassure the citizens, the police is working very assiduously to disrupt the gangs, and they're not going to win.
Meanwhile, Mrs. Malahoo Fort says she's concerned about the ongoing crime in Granville. She's calling on the residents to provide the police with information to bring the perpetrators to justice.
I'd love the media to do a little investigative research to find out how is it that so many guns bark, so many gunshots, and then when the police go to search, they can't find it. Investigate, no man, really investigate it and find out what's happening, where they're hiding them. Right? Because if somebody dies from a gunshot, a gun is involved. When you hear the shots being fired nightly, momentarily to just intimidate, and when the police come through, everything crisp. So what it is in the culture of the community that make people think that it is okay?
Government Minister Daryl Vaz has responded to the controversy surrounding the issuance of a visa with annotations from the United States Embassy in Kingston. It follows calls for him to step aside. However, the Energy and Technology Minister reasons the developments are progressive and has instead publicly thanked the U.S. Embassy for their courtesy. More in this report.
In response to the PNP, other than bad mind, can never and will never prosper. And to my conspirators, political and otherwise, I say see you on a flight soon.
A stinging response from Energy and Technology Minister Daryl Vaz to calls for his resignation. The West Portland Member of Parliament is again in the spotlight after fresh developments about his visa became public. Mr. Vaz was issued with a one-year multiple entry B1-B2 visa that contained an annotation that treats with suspected controlled or listed substance trafficking. But Mr. Vaz has repeatedly denied any wrongdoing and said accusations made against him are baseless.
I consider this recent development to be both progressive and positive and a step in the right direction. And I would like to extend my appreciation for the courtesies that have been extended by the U.S. Embassy in Kingston, Jamaica.
Mr. Vaz also insisted that he has been very transparent on the matter.
When my visa was revoked, I made a statement and committed to the people of Jamaica that I would keep them informed on the progress of my appeal. Well, that's what I have done in an open, transparent, and honest way, the only way that I know. And I have been fulsome in the disclosure of the visa and the type of visa that I have received. I know it would be expected for me to play the political tit-for-tat in this situation, but I would never do that, as I would never wish for anybody to go through this saga.
In the meantime, a twist was added to the developing saga with claims from former United States Ambassador to Jamaica Donald Tapia claiming that the annotation in Mr. Vaz's visa is part of an effort by the United States government to cover up its wrong against Mr. Vaz. Mr. Tapia made the claims during an interview with the Sunday Gleaner.
The killing of a policeman allegedly by a man of unsound mind has raised fresh concerns about the treatment of homeless people who linger on the streets. Eyewitnesses say the policeman was walking along King Street in Linstead, St. Catherine, when he was hit by the man. Kirk Wright has the details.
Constable Paul Gordon had just left work and was walking along King Street in Linstead when he was hit on the head with a stone, allegedly by a homeless man. The policeman was attached to the Linstead police station. We understand that the police subsequently apprehended the man inside the Linstead market. He was fatally shot. We have been told that many complaints were made to the Linstead police station about the violent nature of the homeless man. MP for Eastern St. Catherine and spokesperson on local government and community development Dennis Daly says the man was no stranger to the police.
This man has been reported over and over again about the danger that he really posed. In the street, everybody gets, either some people get a slap from him, some people he chased some people, he stoned some people. He has been creating nothing but havoc on the street. Why was he not taken off? Many reports went up to the station.
Councillor for the Linstead division says concerns were also raised to the hospital and clinic.
I don't know when the authorities, the state, is going to realize that these people who are on the street who are mentally challenged are to be taken off the street.
A woman who did not want to speak on camera says the homeless man has been creating havoc in Linstead.
From last year, him coming to Linstead. From last year, him come, him get bare trouble, pure trouble. Him broke one old woman and he lit down one pregnant woman, make she lose her baby. And nothing no come out of it, they don't know nothing about it. And now him come take a police life.
Miss Daly admitted she too may have fallen short in doing more to care for the homeless.
I feel very sad and somewhat guilty because probably if I did do a little bit more, we probably would have had some medical personnel to come out here.
Meanwhile, the Police Federation chairman, Corporal Rohan James, says While the rank and file members mourn the death of Constable Paul Gordon, an appeal is being made for more attention to be paid to homeless people.
The Federation is urging the government to see to it that the persons who are on the street of unsound mind, that they are given due regard and attention and the assistance necessary so as to prevent any such reoccurrence like what has transpired today. It's a rather unfortunate situation that is untenable and requires the sort of hands-on approach, notwithstanding the limited resources that the state might have.
Kirk Wright, TVJ News.
Now, there's a desperate appeal this evening from the Ministry of Health for Jamaicans who have not been vaccinated or need their second dose to visit vaccine centers. This, as doses still in storage, will go to waste if not used by tomorrow. Shamela Pullen has this primetime news follow-up.
The clock is ticking for the usage of thousands of doses of AstraZeneca vaccine, which will expire tomorrow at midnight. This plea from the Ministry of Health.
Persons who have a date in their card that says the 29th or before of September to make their way to a vaccination site to be inoculated. We have vaccines. We want you to come. You are eligible to receive the vaccine, and as such, we're asking you to come out and get vaccinated.
The appeal comes as the country pushes for herd immunity. As at September 28, over 500,000 persons have received their first dose, over 200,000 their second, and 26,691 people have taken the single dose. Still, it will be some time before herd immunity is realized.
It is 65% at this time, but as we continue to follow the science, we may have to up that number. We are nowhere near herd immunity. We have just come out of single digits with persons who are fully vaccinated in country. So if we are at 10%, then we are what? How many away from 65?
With uncertainty about when the country will receive the next shipment of the Pfizer vaccine, some public health experts have suggested mixing and matching doses. Dr. Ennis weighed in.
Saying anything is possible, but we're not there as yet. So all of that is under consideration. It is not what is recommended at this time. We continue to follow the evidence, and as soon as we get the go from the WHO, we will certainly look at how that can be handled in Jamaica.
There have been concerns also about persons being turned away from vaccine sites. TVJ News has learned that people showing up a day early for their second dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine have been turned away. Dr. Ennis responded to that issue.
So the vaccines work better. It is for the benefit of the client to abide by the rules, which says 8 to 12 weeks. It is to your advantage of taking the vaccine at that time. We don't want to cause confusion to say, oh, take it before. No, you have a date, you come on that date or after.
Shamela Pullen, TVJ News.